Hey everybody, welcome back to Just Like Grandma's and Then Some with me, Helen. How you guys doing? Hope everybody's doing well. I know it's been forever since I I did a video, but I still have been doing some creations. And actually, a friend of mine on my Facebook page asked for this recipe. So I figured I would just do a video. Why not? And actually, the recipe was for homemade peanut butter pudding. And, well, I'm doing a little bit of a switch today. As usual. For one, putting peanut butter in a pudding. You know, it's different. But I'm actually using almond milk. Chocolate almond milk. Yummy! Yeah, so, I thought it'd be a little different. So for this recipe, what you're going to need, 90 milliliters of milk. I'm using almond milk, so it's dairy-free, and I'm just happen to be using chocolate milk to make chocolate, because I don't have any cocoa in the house. Okay, and you're going to need sugar. Now, this batch here is going to make, is the full batch. And then I have a smaller batch that I want to try, because I found something that I want to see if it works. We'll find out. So for sugar, for this recipe here, I'm actually using cane sugar, and I'll be using 250 milliliters. I should say grams. It's not liquid. It's the other. I know. Strange. And I'm going to be using, instead of cocoa powder, which would be 80 grams, I'm actually using peanut butter that I already measured out. And it's the natural peanut butter. It has the oil and all that stuff in it. So have that all ready. I just have to do my measurements for my my sugar. And then you're going to need more milk, okay, which will be 350 milliliters. And cornstarch, 100 grams, which I have that right here. And you're going to need 4 eggs. And it does call for salt, but I don't put salt in it. It calls for 2 grams of salt if you wish to put it in. It's totally up to you. I don't put it in. And you need vanilla. It calls for 5 milliliters of vanilla. I do have my homemade vanilla. Now, last time I made it, I used just the regular almond milk, the white one, and I actually used some vanilla and almond extract as well. So that's a little different too. And you're going to need a pot and your stove, my dears, because it's all done on the pot and on the stove. So I'm actually going to turn that on to the middle, which is 5. And for this here, I'm going to put in my milk. Okay, there we go. There's our milk. Now our sugar goes in next. I just got to measure everything. Let's see if I can get it so you guys can actually see what I am doing, hopefully. Because I have a scale here. Percent goes 0. 250. 100. We're getting there. We're getting there. 50. There we go. I'm done with that. Put that over the side. And I'm going to put this into our pot. And our peanut butter. I am going to take that. There we go. I'm going to take that and I'm going to use one of these. I'm going to put that in here too, so it gets melted with everything else there. Now this is a little bit more than what the recipe calls for because I didn't have that much left. So I said, why not just put the rest of it in? It ends up being, I think, 100 grams. Which actually would have been, like for, if you're making coconut, you'd have 100 grams. So now I'm just going to, using my whisk to just mix this up a little bit. Just to help it incorporate a bit. And I'm just going to let that do its thing. And I'm going to start with the next step. So I'm going to put, so I need 350. I'm going to turn it this way. 350 milliliters. So, get my chocolate milk ready. I had to go buy new stuff because I was kind of short for making both recipes. So, I went and bought both of them. So that's 325, 350 right there. Okay. So then in this, I put the cornstarch, which I actually am going to need this for. So this cornstarch, it's the 100 grams of cornstarch. That all in there. Very good. Mix this all up. Because this basically is going to be our thickening agent when we put it in there, along with the eggs. You're not really seeing what I'm doing here. I got a stand for my new phone, so I'm kind of hoping that that will work really well. Okay. So now I have that in there. I am going to move that over. I'm going to get my dish here. Because now I need the eggs. So I need 4 eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4. I always like cracking them into a bowl. That way there, if you get any shells, you can dig them out. Or in case anything goes bad, which sometimes it does, but I haven't had that happen so far. Okay, so that goes in there. And now I'm going to measure out some lemon. No, not lemon. Some vanilla extract, which is the stuff I made actually. Well, there's a little bit more than should be in there. We'll cut that down a little bit. I think that's fine. But then again, I would just add it anyways. Just going to take my wooden spoon and stir this. Just make sure, because this here you want it to be stirred. And try not to get the burn anything. And you do want this to come up to a boil, but more of a simmering boil, so to speak. And then what we're going to do, going to beat our eggs a little bit. So there's a little bit beaten before I put them in this mixture. You can just put it in the mixture and do it, which I did do the last time I made this. And it's turned out wonderful, but I just wanted to make sure that I had everything mixed. Now we are going to be tempering this mixture after this does what it has to do. So in this mixture here, we have our chocolate milk, our cornstarch, our eggs, and our vanilla. And yes, it does call for salt in this mixture. If you want to put salt in it, go for it. I just don't use a lot of salt and stuff. And yes, it does enhance the taste of things. But for me, too much salt affects my feet in that. So yeah. So now, we're basically over at the stove for the time being. So I'm just gonna, I got a piece of peanut butter in here that is still thick. But it's smelling good because I can smell the peanut butter, which is good. Now, this recipe actually is for cream pies. Basically, this is the filling that you would put in cream pies. Is basically what it is. I actually got this recipe from when I went to baking school. And it's a really good recipe. And I really do like it. And it's really good for making pudding. So, you know, it's basically the same thing as those sheriff things that you make and you throw them in your pie. Basically the same thing, it's just that this is from scratch. And I don't think you could find one that has peanut butter in it. That I'm aware of. Maybe in different countries there are, but I have not seen any in the places that I've ever been in Canada. So, and I didn't look when I was over in the Netherlands for summer school for 3 weeks. So, yes, I went to school. I went back to school, so that's another reason why I wasn't doing videos in that. Because I was concentrating on my schooling. I actually graduated from NSCC Marconi campus for Business Administration Management concentration. And when I was over in the Netherlands, I was in there for doing business in Europe with NSCC International. And we were in Groningen. I hope I said that right. But, you know, and it's a beautiful place, and there's lots of history and everything there. Okay, so I'm just trying to get this to come to a simmering boil. So then I can temper this here. I'll take this over here, so because then I'm going to be using my whisk for that there. And once I have that this done to the consistency, I'm actually, for something different, I'm actually going to put some chocolate chips in it. You don't have to put chocolate chips in it. I just saw them at the store, and they were on sale, so I was like, why not? See what happens, because you never know. You never know. So I think this foam scale thing is working good, I think. The stand and that. Okay, we're starting to get, I can really smell the peanut butter. Basically, I'm making sure that everything is dissolved, like the sugar's dissolved, and the peanut butter is incorporated, and there aren't any thick chunks. So, yeah. And I do have my containers put aside. And these are my little containers I'm going to be putting them in, because they have their own little lid. So I can just put that right there. I think I just bumped that a little bit. And every once in a while I stir this just to make sure that the cornstarch from the bottom is incorporated. Because you know, sometimes if you're making gravy and using cornstarch, you know, it goes down to the bottom and you gotta mix it up before you put it in. So, same idea. Now I will take you over to show you. Oh, I got a piece of peanut butter. Got a piece of peanut butter that's got to be dissolved in here. Now we just got to get this to like a boil, and then we take some, because I don't want this to be scalding, because you don't want to burn your milk. And I do have mine on a medium heat. If you want to go faster, as long as you have everything ready, you can attempt to put a higher temperature on there, but just beware and constantly watch what you're doing, because you do not want any of this to burn, because honestly it'll stink your whole house up, and you don't want that, trust me. When I was younger, I think I did something like that, but I think everybody does that back, you know, everybody's done that kind of stuff, especially when they're just learning, which is okay. Now I'm going to take you over so you can see what this is doing. So it's doing all right. I'm just waiting for it to boil, which it looks like it's almost going to boil soon. Now, if I didn't have the chocolate milk, I would just put cocoa in it. But I wanted to not use cocoa because I don't have any in the house, and I had chocolate milk, and mind you, I did have to go and buy some today. Yeah, so I can make both recipes, because the second recipe I'm doing is only a half a recipe, and I'm actually using honey with it and egg replacer. And I've never used that egg replacer before, so I'm kind of hoping that it'll work. I can't see why it wouldn't, but where I haven't used it before, you're still very cautious. At least I am. And I was going to, as it was, I said you could. I was going to tell you guys you can, you know, you can probably use egg replacers, but I've never used them. So this way here, I can let you know if it works or not. Okay. How are we doing here? Doing pretty good. Mmm. Really smell the peanut butter right now. And the chocolate. And it literally smells amazing. Now I do put it in containers and then put it in the fridge. And I usually have enough left over that I have a little bowl of what's remaining because it doesn't fit all in there, the big batch. So I'll have some as a tester. And I'll do something like the same with the other batch too. But I think we're almost there. We're really smoking, as you can see. Usually once I see that the first bubble starts to come through really good, then the rest of them come, then I'll temper this and then put that in there. Just because I don't want to want to burn my milk. And when I first put this in there, I use the whisk, and then I transfer back over to the to my wooden spoon, or whatever spoon you guys wish to use. I'm not picky about spoons. I do like my wooden spoons though. I do like my wooden spoons. It's hard to find wooden spoons nowadays. Mm-hmm. I hear something happening. Okay. Can you ever smell this stuff? It smells beautiful. It honestly really and truly does smell beautiful. And basically the reason why we temper this mix is so we don't have scrambled eggs in our custard, our pudding. I really can't wait to see what this actually tastes like because I've never used chocolate milk for something. Okay. Bring it over. See, now we're starting to boil a little bit right here. And right there. That's what we want to happen. That's perfect. So I'm going to stir this up. I'm going to take my ladle. And there's a reason why I had it so close. So I can ladle some of this into here while I'm stirring. 2, 3. 3 is good right there for now. I'm going to put that over there because I am going to be needing that. And I'm just going to stir both of them for a minute. Put that right there. And now I'm going to pour this right in here. That was a thing of peanut butter. And it actually was the smooth peanut butter, but it wasn't, like I said, it was the natural stuff, so it's kind of different. I'm just going to scramble this, well, scramble it. Make sure everything's incorporated. Okay, that's good. Now you just let this do its thing. Whisk it all together. Okay, I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to grab this one here. I am going to turn that off. And I do when I'm going to move you guys over this way. Okay. There, that goes there. I'm going to take this off. Now the residual heat of this is going to keep on cooking it. and get it nice and thick. I think that's as thick as I want it for now, because once it gets in the fridge, it will actually cool even more. So I'm going to get my containers ready here. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8 all together. So we'll see what we get. Pretty sure it was the 8 that I got last time. So I'm going to scoop it in. Now it seems kind of chunky, but I think that is because of the peanut butter. More than I thought. But that's okay. We'll just add another scoop on each of the things, and that should be perfectly fine, I say. And these containers that I'm using actually are 3/4 of a cup. So, and there we go, 3/4 of a cup. Perfect. And then I'm going to get my little plate over here and get the rest of this out. Just pour it all in there. All that goodness and yumminess. Smells really good, I gotta tell you. Now, I'm not gonna try this until I get the other one done. But it smells amazing. And I was gonna put the chocolate chips in the other one. But you can put chocolate chips in that now if you want to. Sprinkle some on, or when you're just about to ladle it, you can put some chocolate chips or nuts or whatever you want to put in it. Put on them. So this here is what they look like. Cute little things. And I'll be right back once I get this stuff in the fridge and starting the other one.